I don't give a shit. Okay, I don't know who's gonna win this, but I really hope Steven, or I kind of hope Steven wins. I hear Star wins, but please, Steven. As long as the episode is good, I don't care. I don't care. I'm like,
visit fullsail.edu/deathbattle. That's fullsail.edu/deathbattle. Steven Universe, a superpowered half-human, half-gem teenager.
And Star Butterfly, wild child princess from another dimension.
They've both struggled with their responsibilities to save the world, but when pitted against each other, whose heroics will triumph?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
man, it's
And
kind
it's our
of
job to
weird
analyze
seeing
their
these
weapons,
guys
armor,
use
and
Steven
skills to
Universe
find out
footage.
who would win a death battle.
Yo, is that footage? I wonder what's gonna
The
happen.
Diamond Authority was an alien superpower set on conquering the universe.
A fun fact, I've actually
Game.
not seen
They're
the
literally diamonds,
previews
like
for this
shiny
stuff yet.
alien rock people.
As the most powerful of
So
the
I'm
gems,
going
the
in blind.
diamonds led armies of lesser gems, including pearls, amethysts, and others, to prepare planets for destruction by the Authority. These armies were trusted to obey.
But they had an enemy rock person, Rose Quartz. She'd been living on Earth and really liked the place, so she was leading her own group of gems in rebellion, the Crystal Gems.
To which the three diamonds of the Authority responded by trying to destroy every gem left on Earth.
That sounds like overkill. But in a huge blast of light, every gem was corrupted or destroyed, except for Rose and her closest gems, a garnet and pearl. She'd managed to defend them all with her shield.
Given the light emanating from this attack and its distance, we can estimate it to be over 843 million tenajoules per second of energy.
Jewels? More like jewels, am I right?
That's what I said?
No, like with the W. Never mind.
Well, now with the diamonds rebuffed, Rose was able to settle down, and she even met a human she got along with. Greg Universe.
What a badass.
Hey, yo,
I wanna
fun
wish
fact,
my last
apparently
name was
Greg has
Universe.
like a
They got
badge
along
with
so well
Coleman.
that one thing led to another, and, whoops! Rose had to give up her body so their son could be born.
True to his heritage, Steven has many gem-related powers. Since when Rose gave up her body to create him, she effectively gave him all of her power as well, including her own gem. And while Steven's a stalwart pacifist, this led to him following in her footsteps to defend Earth from the diamonds when they inevitably return.
But
Man,
he's
it's
got
so
plenty of
weird
ways to
seeing
defend
like these
himself
guys
and the others.
use
He can
characters
create
that I
shields and
know
bubbles to protect from
for the
different
first
attacks,
time.
use bubbles to teleport things away, and shapeshift to get bigger.
He can also control his
Like,
personal
it's just
gravity
kinda
to
weird.
float or jump as high as he wants. And he can even fuse with other gems, or sometimes a human.
Huh. Wonder what a fusion between us would look like.
Fusions tend to result in a more powerful entity than the sum of its parts, but I'm not sure that would happen.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't be able to handle it.
Sure. Anyway, as a gem,
Okay,
Steven
then.
is much stronger than
I'm pretty
an
sure that's
average
gonna be
child.
a fan
While he
fiction now.
doesn't
Look.
look for conflict always seems to find him. Like when he's taken on huge monsters or pushed through the G-forces of faster-than-light travel.
And when he's in a fight, he combines that crazy strength with awesome speed and agility. He can outrun an alien security system with electric fire and ice attacks, and he's dodged lasers. Even if he can't get away in time, Steven survived an entire temple exploding and taken hits from a bunch of gems, which is huge. I mean, Garnet once punched so hard she could split a mountain.
Another gem he's on par with, Lapis, telekinetically lifted the entire ocean into the atmosphere. Boomstick, do you know how heavy the ocean is?
No, do you know how heavy the ocean is?
The effort required for that would be anywhere from 92 petatons to over 10 zetatons of TNT.
That's
Man, that's a lot of water. His bubble and
that's
shield
a
are
lot
also
of power.
way stronger than they look, since they can defend against attacks from the diamonds themselves. Not even Steven's spit could have helped with that attack. Oh, if you haven't heard, his spit can heal people.
His saliva can even give plants, like fruit, humanoid form. Just spitting out seeds from a watermelon has gotten Steven in quite a bind before.
That's not gonna pop up and attack me, is it?
No, Boomstick, regular watermelons don't attack people, but depending on Steven's emotional state, he has varying control over his plant-based life form.
You gonna eat that?
Thank you.
Aside from his spit, Steven's tears
Well,
have
we'll be
brought
right
people
back.
back from the dead. They just turn pink and have powers of their own after. It's weird.
Despite
Yeah, this
not
year's
being one to
fucking
pursue
weird
conflict,
as fuck.
Steven's been stuck for a while making the best of carrying on Rose's duty. So his kindness and feelings of responsibility for those around him push him to use those healing abilities whenever he can. He can even mend himself with accelerated healing that lets him fix fractures and minor injuries nearly immediately.
And when Steven's knocked out, he can leave his physical body, sort of like a ghost. The drawback is he can't physically interact with anything while he's projecting. But when Steven goes to sleep normally, he can possess other people's bodies. Good luck trying to fall asleep in a fight, though. I've tried.
But protecting the Earth wasn't the only surprise Steven's mother left for him. As it turns out, she was never actually Quartz at all. She was, in fact, Pink Diamond, one of the heads of the Diamond Authority.
What?
Despite being sent to Earth to conquer it, she fell in love with the planet, which led her to give up her title and transform into Rose Quartz. All of this was withheld from Steven for most of his life, as Pearl worried how the truth might change him.
Oh, believe me, parental trauma will take a toll on anyone's mental state. And when Steven gets too overwhelmed, he taps into his latent diamond abilities.
I'm just trying to turn up the negative part. Calling so not only can I hear it, but you can.
He's so fast his perception of time slows to a crawl. His bubble and shield become hexagonal and strong enough to crush other gems. Like when he lost control of his emotions in a fight with Jasper and killed her.
He did bring her back to life with his super tears, but that kind of stuff made him think he was a monster, and he basically turned into a pink state Godzilla.
But this wasn't Steven hulking out all of a sudden. It was the result of a full emotional breakdown after years of stress and trauma.
Luckily, his friends came in clutch and it worked out okay. But he still risks becoming a monster if he's ever completely emotionally broken.
With the support of the crystal gems, his dad,
Yeah,
and his
Jesus.
friends, Steven managed to work through his personal issues, so hopefully he's not faced with becoming a monster ever again.
So that's one less monster to worry about, Tokyo. And since Monster Steven has the same power as his pink state, just with absolutely no control, Steven's still powerful enough to take on anything in his way.
Of course, if it was up to Steven Universe, everyone would just be friends.
Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, and Steven!
Alright, well, that's information about
Marco met
Steven.
the new
That's cool.
exchange student at his school.
And here
He
comes
thought
a
he was just
character
making
I
new
know
friends
basically
from a
nothing
different
about.
place.
And he definitely didn't think she'd be a magical princess who'd drag him along for all of her crazy adventures.
This girl from Uni
Mew what?
was a little weird and a little wild. And on top of bringing magic to Earth, she might have brought along a few extras as well. This displaced heir to the throne and defender against monsters was none other than Star Butterfly.
She may have been backed up by generations of magic
Oh,
users
oh,
before
God, she's
her, and
15.
super
Oh, no,
strong
oh,
in her
no,
own right,
oh,
but
no.
Star wasn't the perfect princess.
makes it
She would have been
close. I saw. Oh,
Terry
God.
Melody
Oh,
running St. Olga's School for Wayward Princesses. But luckily, Star's parents took one look at that place and decided, no way, she's going to Earth instead.
You know, Earth really isn't the best place for her to be practicing magic. We're not used to people casually casting spells here. What'll humans say?
Well, since Star is a Mumin,
What the is a Mumin?
that's what the people of Muni are called. She's already superhuman compared to her peers on Earth. She survived a blast that leveled the top of Castle Muni and can use her wings to help her get out of the way in a pinch.
What, those tiny things? There's no way she can actually fly with them. At least she can make a bubble around herself to defend against attack.
Her butterfly heritage also grants her the Magic Instruction Book. This spell book is incredibly important, as it contains spells created by all the magical rulers of Muni that came before her. And she creates her own spells too, like Cupcake Blast, which fires a beam filled with cupcakes.
Okay, half of these spells don't make any sense. Jelly bean hallucination mist? Starfish tsunami? What the hell are these names? I want a jelly bean hallucination mist. feel like you'd pay for that at like a high-end sauna.
Well, they're kind of self-explanatory. Creating her own spells does mean they can pretty much be anything. Take one of her summons, for example, which are effectively creatures reliant on magic to survive. So what happens when you combine unicorns, stampedes, and war?
Oh, I know this one. Warnicorn Stampede. Now I get where Spider with a top hat came from.
That Spider's one of Star's self-professed most powerful summons, with his own minigun to boot.
So
Why
naturally,
does
she
a
can
spider
kick
with
monsters'
a
butts
hat
with her spells
have
thanks
a
to her
minigun?
magical wand. But she better watch out,
Why?
'cause a lot of those monsters want to use it
I'm
for
lost.
themselves.
Her wand, combined with her training, means she has some incredible destructive power. She's blasted apart walls, temples, and a throne room. Her mother even said her wand could blow up a universe, and one of her ancestors did exactly that.
Yeah, Star's ancestor Skywind wanted to make something explode one day. So why not an entire dimension?
And remember that book we mentioned earlier? Skywind
Oh.
recorded her experience.
I think Star
so her
has this.
successors would know what to do if they also wanted to destroy a dimension. So Star should be able to do this, since she's known to be an incredibly strong princess, on top of being the heir to the Butterfly Spellbook.
Speaking of destroying things, her thermonuclear butterfly blast has wrecked a house. And according to Star, her mega explosive crystal laser is powerful enough to obliterate planets. But she just likes to use it to play with cats like a laser pointer.
Star has spells for more than just destruction, though, like her Bunny Rabbit Blast, which she's used to catch up to cars. And one of the monsters she's fought, Meteora, has deflected lightning. Being able to fight on par with Meteora means Star's able to reach speeds over Mach 1000. But if all that wasn't
That's
enough
why
for you,
she's so
once Star
powerful.
went through puberty,
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
she learned how to actively
I
control her
actually grew
powerful
boomstick hair.
powerful
Now this
butterfly
makes sense, and I'm so
Now
confused.
that's a set of wings. I just wish peering into her eyes wasn't like peering into the 9 layers of hell.
It's obviously a stand-in for puberty. Star compared the process of attaining it to, quote, suddenly looking at boys as if they were made of bacon. Like you've never eaten it in your life, and all you want to eat is bacon.
So what you're saying is if I eat enough bacon, I can get magical powers?
Anyway,
Huh.
through her time
I
in
like
various
Star.
dimensions,
Both
fighting
of us like
monsters and
bacon.
defending her friends, Star's become strong enough on her own that she no longer needs her wand. In fact, her wand only ever served as training wheels to help her harness this magic herself.
Soon enough, though, she realized monsters weren't actually the bad guys. So she started to fight for them instead of against them.
This wasn't a popular decision with humans, but Star knew it was the right choice and followed through. Unfortunately, the fighting continued, and Star realized in order to truly quell the conflict, she needed to fight magic itself.
So her mother, her great whatever grandmother, and Meteora all banded together to cast the Whispering Spell in the realm of magic.
You know,
This spell
I
is
think I
designed
found
to
out another
silence
thing
or
that
end
that has
magic, and when
both
cast
of these
within
be
the realm of
common.
magic,
Steven
it
Universe and Thor
destroys
Butterfly
magic
versus
itself.
Evil both had terrible
But
finales.
doesn't that mean she killed all the magical creatures across the different dimensions because they need magic to survive?
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Well, after destroying magic and every magical creature in existence, Star was finally able to bring peace to Muni.
Star had a lot of growing up to do when she was sent to Earth, but she learned to control her powers and led her country to peace.
Mostly.
Now, she's truly grown from her chrysalis into a butterfly.
Who's ready for a bloody bloodbath?
What the fuck?
All right, the combatants are set. Run the data through all possibilities.
Alright.
Before we do, it's time to talk about our sponsors.
I'd like to take a moment to wish friends of the show Adam and Eve a very
Adam.
happy birthday.
What are they, like 6,000 years old?
Not that Adam and Eve. I'm talking about the upscale adult boutique.
I knew that.
We're talking
Anyway,
about.
it's Adam and
I
Eve's
love how some
50th
like
birthday,
specifically
and in
chose the
celebration,
episode
they've got one
with
heck of a deal for you.
children,
Head on over to
show characters,
AdamandEve.com
the
and use the code
sponsor,
BATTLE
get
at
sponsored.
checkout to get almost any one item
That is so
50% off.
weird.
So to be honest, they have so
That's
many
just
items
weird,
available,
man.
you might
That's
as well
weird.
just one.
If it's
That's
their
also kind
birthday,
of
shouldn't we be the
cringe.
ones giving them a gift?
They'll
Cringe
also
in
give you
that.
10 free gifts with your order. That's a gift for
Oh
him,
god,
a gift
I'm
for her,
tired.
a gift for the both of you, 6 movies, and
I've actually seen the preview for like the fight, but just not the analysis. That's the thing I've been playing during. That's what I've been doing for the last couple days now. Speaking of the animation, I
and check
love
out
how come they have my
MLB.com.
boy who
And thanks so
Red
much to
Runner
Adam and
and
Eve for supporting the show.
whoever the other guy is. I just know Red Runner. I'm so happy that they just threw him in.